heart off. Fuck with me. The police gonna have to come get me. Your ass. What's going on, people? Movie Surf 212. We're doing our first YouTube movie review. And the movie we're going to be reviewing today, if you don't know by that music, Straight Outta Compton. People, you see the smile on my face? Excited. Just, I can't believe how good this movie is. Okay? Wednesday night, myself and Brian, Movie Surf 212 colleague, we attended an advanced special screening hosted by Hot 97, Uptown Harlem on 125th Street at the Max Johnson Theater. And we saw a special screening, 2 hours and 30 minutes. Probably the best 2 hours and 30 minutes that I've had sitting down watching a movie in a very, very long time. The movie is directed by F. Gary Gray. If you don't know who he is, he directed Friday. He directed The Negotiator with Samuel L. Jackson and Kevin Spacey, and he directed Law Abiding Citizen with Jamie Foxx and Gerard Butler. Okay, so he has a good resume on him. So I'm happy that when this movie was announced and he was pretty much picked or selected to direct this movie, I was skeptical, but then I was also relieved because I'm a fan of F. Gary Gray. So, but I didn't think it was going to be this good, people. I mean, this movie's phenomenal. On IG, we listed this movie, or we gave this a rating of masterpiece, which is basically the first rating we've given any movie on our Instagram page. And I mean, we're not exaggerating, people. And for the people who may argue with me or argue with us about giving this high of a rating for a movie about a hip-hop group, we're not exaggerating. And you know what? If you dislike the movie, or you want to go on a crazy rant with us on our YouTube channel, fine. It's okay. You're entitled to your own opinion. But with us, this is a masterpiece of a movie. I mean, the cinematography, the actors, just the whole tone of the movie, the music. It's just, whew. Haven't come out of a movie like this in a long time, or feeling like this in a very long time. So let's just cut straight to the acting. Listen, people, the acting here, I was so skeptical, and I think everybody else was questionable about who was playing each member of the N.W.A group. Okay, so you had Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, DJ Yella, MC Ren, and the people who play each of these characters do the job, and they do the job perfectly. Okay, people. So if you had any concerns, or you had any, reservations about, how the acting was going to be, have no fear. Each actor, and the actors who play the rappers, have a little resume on them, or either have never acted before. And it's amazing that, Ice Cube's son, who doesn't have any experience in acting, I mean, he depicted his father to a T. I mean, and his son's name is actually, Ice Cube's name, which is O'Shea Jackson Jr. His mannerisms on stage, down packed. The look, down packed. His voice, down packed. Has everything he needed to play his father. I mean, it was just crazy just watching him play his father. It was just so genuine, so authentic. So good job, O'Shea. You did your father proud. I mean, if there was anyone, though, who, in the movie kind of like, outshines everybody else, or if I were to pick, like, the person who basically, like, influences you to keep your eyes glued to the screen, is Jason Mitchell, right, as Eazy-E. Jason Mitchell plays Eazy-E, and wow, people, I mean, the guy is charismatic, the guy is comedic. I mean, he also provides you, some emotional scenes that pull you in and you connect to this character, to Eazy-E. And I think, like me as a hip hop fan and me following N.W.A, Eazy-E, and all the other artists that are associated with N.W.A, I think that he played Eazy-E perfectly. Okay? I have no disputes about Jason Mitchell's portrayal of Eazy-E. It was just on point, funny at times, in the first half of the movie, just awesome, people. So pay close attention to Jason Mitchell, and I hope he does great after this movie. Now, Dr. Dre is played by Corey Hawkins. Corey Hawkins, or whatever, I believe he's been in a few movies before, and we gotta say he captures Dr. Dre's voice perfectly. Doesn't really have the look, but definitely captures his voice. I mean, people, this movie was just, it was awesome, and the guys who play DJ Yella and MC Ren, I mean, even though they don't get as much screen time as the obvious three, they still have a decent amount of screen time, and the guys who play them, the guy who plays MC Ren is Aldis Hodge, and you have Neil Brown Jr. who plays DJ Yella. Now, he looks exactly like DJ Yella. I mean, it's crazy. He looks like his identical twin. So again, the acting is phenomenal. It's great. So if you're someone who analyzes and dissects acting, this is the perfect movie to watch. This is the perfect movie to go, just go see and just embrace these performances by each of these actors who did a phenomenal job. As far as any established artists in this movie, Paul Giamatti, who has been in a ton of movies and critically acclaimed actor, he's in this movie. He plays Jerry Heller, okay, who was at the time N.W.A.'s manager. There were obvious issues with Jerry Heller back in the day, but we'll leave that for you guys to watch in the movie. Aside from the acting, the pacing of the movie is beautiful. Not only is the pacing beautiful, but the music, people, is fantastic. I mean, aside from the N.W.A live performances, and when you're watching N.W.A creating the music, there's also music in the background. Like the first half of the movie, you'll hear soulful, like R&B tracks from the 70s. You'll also hear songs that are like disco influenced and stuff like that. So, I mean, even the music is fantastic. They did a good job of selecting the music that's outside of the N.W.A catalog, and they did it perfectly to fit the time period at that time. So it was like the 80s and stuff like that. So phenomenal. So if you grew up listening to old like R&B, disco tracks, you're gonna love the first half of this movie, guaranteed. All right, just off of that alone. Aside from the music, like I said, the live performances or whatever are fantastic. Each actor plays the rappers authentically. I mean, the rapping styles, it was crazy. Another thing this movie has is, dealing with the harsh reality of something we deal with today, which is police brutality. Everyone knows they did a song called Fuck the Police, and it was influenced by the police brutality, and it also touches up on the Rodney King beating and the LA riots. So not only is this movie about music, but it also digs deep into the issues and the problems that LA was plagued with at the time that was going on with the police brutality and the Rodney King beating, even down to the verdict. So it's like, aside from the music, this movie also touches on some topics that I think are important in our day and time. It also deals with, if you guys know, Eazy-E passed away from contracting HIV, so the movie touches up on that. So it's 2 hours and 30 minutes of all of these things compressed into one, and F. Gary Gray doesn't miss a beat directing this movie, directing these actors in the right route. I mean, there's so much that I want to say about this movie, but I want to make this as short as possible, even though we're running for like 10 minutes already. But this movie was just phenomenal. Me personally, and Movie Surf 212 personally, wants to thank Universal Pictures for giving Ice Cube and Dr. Dre the freedom to make this movie as real as possible. They could have turned this movie down at any point based off of the content, based off of the history of N.W.A. They weren't the most innocent, most, angel. Like, they just, these were rappers. So it's like, they weren't the most innocent, group of guys and stuff like that. So the fact that a studio took a chance on that, especially a studio as big as Universal, people, we already know the numbers they're pulling. It's 5.83 billion, and with this movie, it's only gonna bring that number up. So the acting is phenomenal. The music is beautiful. And the topics of this movie that touch on, HIV, police brutality, and things like that are some of the things that are included in this movie. And we highly recommend that you go see this movie this weekend with family, with friends, and stuff like that. And, even if you're somebody that doesn't enjoy hip-hop, I believe you're still going to enjoy it just based off of the film itself. All right, people? So, that's Movie Surf 212. Our review of Straight Outta Compton. Masterpiece movie. This is going to be a movie that I think is going to be remembered for years to come, hopefully. I know I'm going to remember this movie, and I'm also fortunate, like many others, who grew up listening to N.W.A. and growing up to their music the same way that I'm appreciative of the whole 90s hip-hop era. And 90s movies and stuff like that. So, Movie Surf 212, Straight Outta Compton, great movie. Go check it out. And go check us out on Instagram, Movie Surf 212. Go visit us at moviesurf212.com. Check us out on our Periscope broadcast that we do live broadcast about your favorite movies or just things you want to talk about. So yeah, just hit us up on all those social media outlets, and we're signing off. Later.